Hello everybody and welcome back. My name's Hynix and today we're going to be playing some Minecraft Dinosaurs, and in last episode, if you recall, we built our Dinosaurs enclosure and I was completely out of the loop. I don't know what I was doing. It had been a while since I recorded, so having some trouble commentating, I guess. Hopefully that's not persistent in today's episode. But yeah, we added this little guy into the park and he is just absolutely adorable. It's a male. Yeah, I remember, it's a male. And we're going to be finishing his enclosure today. That's the goal. Or at least getting it close enough finished that I say, oh, this is good enough to not work on right now. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty fun episode. I do enjoy these little ones where we finish the enclosure. I think we're going to go for a spruce forest vibe back here with a very open field. I want to use not a lot of grass, if any. Maybe a little bit over here where it's some more damp than we have the water. But yeah, this exhibit really I did very good with the rock walls and the fences. So if we can carry that on with the forest area, I think this is going to turn out really fantastic. And I think temp sky are going to be a big part of today's exhibit. Now before we actually get into the building and resource collecting and all that other stuff, I do want to tell you guys, we're on the road to 500 subscribers. I'm racing one of my friends. We're absolutely demolishing him. He's at 130. We have gotten pretty far up. We're at probably 300 now by the time this is going up. So if you guys would feel free to subscribe, that'd be pretty cool. Join the community. We've been balling these last few months. I gotta be completely honest, this has been really, the channel's doing better than I would have expected, and I will do a 500 subscriber special. Also, before we get into it, the last thing I want to say is I should have probably uploaded the SeaWorld video by now before uploading this one. This should be the last video uploaded is the SeaWorld one, where I basically just build where flamingo exhibits start off my SeaWorld park that I'm building in a new series, which we will actually complete unlike the zoo series because I enjoy SeaWorld a lot more and I'm not doing a super flat world. I do have a map that I'm using. I'm sure I talk about that in the video though. So yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying that, and without further ado, I'm going to go and collect some resources, figure out what I need to do to get this enclosure ready to be built, I guess. So yeah, see you guys in just a second. Alright, now that I have all the resources that I'm going to need for this build, I wanted to do a little bit of experimenting, and I figured, yeah, this forest is definitely going to go on the back. I don't know when I want it to start. I don't know if I want it all up there. I kind of want it to start around here and go there. I'm not sure. It's going to be a little bit difficult to do that. I might even add it down here and make this an open area. I have no idea exactly what I want to do here yet. It's kind of a weird shape for a build. I think it's gonna, like I said last video a bunch, it's gonna look really good if we can get it right. It's gonna look really bad if I do it wrong. So I'm trying to be a little bit careful here and make sure I get it right. Because yeah, I don't know if I want to use custom trees or not either, because these spruce trees are the only trees in Minecraft that look good. But they don't look incredible, especially the ones that are too high. I wonder if there's a way I can make that look a little bit better. Because I want it to look lush. I don't want them to be, oh, you can see the creature's feet walking around. That just looks dumb. You shouldn't be able to see anything on the ground. You should be able to see its neck maybe, but not if you're in a forest, you shouldn't be able to see stuff's legs and not its head. What? Why would the foliage be so dense? You guys know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I'm going to have to change that. I'll probably texture the ground. This is going to take a really long time to do texturing though. That's the one thing I'm worried about, and I don't know if I have that kind of time tonight. But it's alright, we're at a pace on videos right now, so yeah, it's not going to be an issue. I have 4 days to get this done. So I'll probably go to bed in real life, and in the next clip you guys are going to see, it's going to be a time-lapse of me texturing the entire exhibit. So yeah, sit in, that one might take a while, buckle up, I hope that doesn't last too long. I might have to cut that out of the video, but yeah, anyways, I just figured I'd give you a quick update before I go to bed today. And yeah, this is where we stand on the build. So in just another second here, you guys will see either a time lapse or another clip. So see ya then. Alright guys, so hopefully that time lapse wasn't too bad. I saw it was about 2 minutes as I was editing. But yeah, I didn't even get half the exhibit done. So we're going to need to do some more work on this, which is going to be honestly probably double the time just because of how the terrain is with the area. I'm going to need more podzol. I think we're good on dirt. And then grass, obviously, we're going to be fine on. But yeah, it's looking good so far. I really like how this looks. I like how the path coming through looks. The thing that I'm worried about, though, is just the time it's going to take to do all this is dreadful. This video might take a while, but I have time to do it. I'm not really in a rush to get the video out. So I will be getting this done in this episode, like I said I was going to do at the start. But yeah, I'm not going to do this portion on camera because I don't want you guys to have to watch 5 minutes, 6 minutes of time lapse in this episode. So yeah, just letting you guys know where I'm at so far with this build. And I'll check back in with you guys once I'm done with the whole entire thing in terms of, I guess, texturing the ground. And then we'll do some plant life, figure out what we're going to do with that, and yeah, we'll keep on going with whatever else I want to do next. Jeez, I just stumbled on my words there. I gotta be honest with you guys, this took probably multiple hours, probably about 2, but it looks really good. I know obviously right now it looks a little bit scuffed because there's not really any decoration in here. However, I think the terrain really fits. The paths stick out, but not too much. I will have to texture this or put cobblestone or something down there. I'm not sure what I want to do with the little pond yet, but that could be a problem for a little bit later. Now, I'm still going to go with the same plan I had, where I'm going to have a forest in the back and a little more open area here, but I don't want it to be completely open. I might try to put a tree here, just try to add a little bit of trees to the area. Every single tree in this exhibit is going to be custom built, and they're also all going to be a new design. I am trying to find a spruce tree design that I like, and once I come across one that I'm thinking I enjoy, I'll probably do a time lapse just placing a few trees throughout the exhibit. I don't want to do all that on camera unless there's something I really feel like I need to do. But yeah, that's basically the idea right now. Foliage is going to take a while, but once we're done, I think this exhibit is going to look really good. I think so far it's turning out very, very well. Also, I wanted to check the age of our theory here and say if you guys have any name suggestions, very open to that right now. It is a male, I think. Yeah, it's 7, so probably about, it's got to be close to getting fully grown, which is crazy. That's how long it's taken to build this guy's enclosure. But yeah, any name suggestions, greatly appreciated. I mean, if you guys want to go with like Logan for Wolverine, I guess I've seen that one a bunch before on Theory stuff. But yeah, if anyone wants to come up with a cool name, yeah, comment it and you might get selected. So yeah, I don't really have much more to say besides it's time to build the trees and figure out what the foliage situation is going to be. So without further ado, another time lapse. Here we go. Alrighty guys, all the trees have been officially finished and now it's just time to get some foliage in here, and I'm a little bit worried that we're not gonna have enough. So I want to use these azalea leaves as bushes. I think it will look a little bit better, add some more color to the exhibit. Also, I did add some temp sky around, that's what that is. And yeah, I think this forest area in the back looks pretty nice. With a little bit more foliage, I think it's gonna work pretty well. But yeah, I think it's a very appropriately sized exhibit. It looks good. Nothing's really too out of place in here. I do want to see how these azalea leaves look though. So we're going to throw these first around some of the rocks. I just like to do that. I think it makes the exhibits look a little bit more interesting. So we'll just do that and there. That should be good. And I think, yeah, that looks fine. I mean, it doesn't ever look like incredible, but it doesn't really have to. Alright, now what I'm more interested to see is how our bush is going to look up here, because I want to put some just random places, stuff like this. It's just to see how it looks. So yeah, let's see how this looks from down here. Alright, I think that fits. It doesn't really have to be like too apparent, it just has to stand out a little bit. I don't want to make like the main scenery these bushes though, so yeah, I'm gonna try to keep this as simple as I can. Also, there's no way to escape the exhibit from there, so we can build up a little bit more. Oh geez, season just changed again. Hopefully it's not fall. I'm gonna probably get rid of the seasons mod soon, so next episode we probably won't have it, but you know, there's just a few too many problems with it that overall, if you're not building a park, it's a great mod, but when you're building a park, it's just not easy to work with because you have to deal with the snow and the ice, and it's just not really ideal. But yeah, I like the mod, I just don't think it fits this series. So if I do a series without having to build a park, I very well might add that back and do something with that. But yeah, not for this series, unfortunately. How's this looking? Let's add that there. That should look good. Hopefully I don't run out of these azaleas. I could always get more though, it didn't take that long. I like how this looks. It looks very lush. This is what I want the forest area to be. I want it to be a very lush looking area. I don't want it to be too open. I want it to be hard to see the theory, and basically the goal with these is just to cover up the legs of the creature. So I'm interested to see how this is going to look once it's done. That looks good. What, another one right here. And yeah, we're definitely going to need more azaleas. That's fine. That is no big deal. I can get that very quickly. This looks pretty good. I really like how these azaleas look. I know I've already said that a few times, but they just work really well for this exhibit, and I gotta sleep real quick. So something else I was interested in adding is these little trees. I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's just gonna look something like this maybe. I'll try to make it a little bit interesting. And then throw some of these vines on them. Also, I probably should add a slab there to make it look a bit better. I want to move that down a block. And where's my axe? There it is. I will move that down, and I think this will just look a little bit cleaner overall. And we'll add another branch like there. Yeah, and I'm just going to throw some vines down, and this should look pretty decent overall. So yeah, I think that should work. This should work very well. Yeah. I like that. Alright, so this can work. Actually, does it though? Maybe if I moved this and added that there? Or does that still look a little bit whack? Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that. I think we're just gonna go keep it simple. I don't want to go too far on some of these builds and do something I'm not capable of building well yet. However, I think we can still kind of work with this design. We're just gonna simplify it a little bit. So instead of making these like super tall, I'll probably just do something like this. Add a spruce slab on top. I think that should work out just fine. And then something like this should work. Yeah, I think this is good. Yep, and you're not even going to see the back, so no reason to do that. Yeah, I think that works fine. Let's see how it looks from back here. Yeah, that looks good. And then we can add like fallen logs every once in a while. We can add one, I think over here would be a good spot actually. Like right about here. And then add a branch sticking up. Yeah, it works. I'm sure you guys can kind of see the vision. What was that noise? This guy's got to be almost fully grown too. We'll add another one here. Yeah, that works. Okay. And we'll add a branch right there. So yeah, I'll try to add a few more of these throughout the exhibit, and I also will get some more azaleas, and then I'll come back and we'll do a little bit more decorating. Okay, I did what I said I was going to do, got a few more azaleas. Hopefully we can just finish this off here. And yeah, I added these in. They look decent. I think they just add a nice little bit of detail, a little bit more color with the blue. And yeah, they work pretty well within the exhibit, fill up some empty spaces. So now it is figuring out where the rest of these are going to go. And I think a good spot for one would probably be right here. And I also realized I added roots to this tree, which I like. But I don't know how noticeable that would be from down there. So it's not really something I'm going to do, I don't think. I noticed it, I was like, that's kind of neat, but maybe if we do like a smaller exhibit with roots or one big giant tree, we could do something like that. I just don't feel like it fit this particular build that well. But yeah, I might do something like that in the future. Also, don't want to put that too close to the wall. That could cause issues later, and I don't really want to deal with that. Okay, let's see how much we can do here. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Adds a little bush in, and we'll do the same thing right over here. I want to try to use more of these regular azaleas because I have a ton of them. And yeah, that looks pretty decent. Okay. Can they escape? Yes, they can. That's not great. How do I solve this? We could just throw another one down. Yep, that works. Or we could just throw one here, I guess. Yeah, that seems like it's still not going to do the job. We'll just throw one there. Okay, that should be good. I don't think they should be able to escape now. Alright, I feel like this forest area is pretty much complete in terms of these bushes. We could probably throw one back here. Yeah, I think we have space. That it won't cause any issues with the creature escaping. And we'll just throw the rest there. Okay, great. And we'll throw like 2 of those there. Throw that there, one there, and one there. And even one here for good measure. Okay, that looks pretty good. I think the forest looks as dense as I wanted it to. Now I just have to add a few more things, and I'm going to do as much of this as I can off camera or on a time lapse so that you guys don't have to watch the video that takes forever. So yeah, see you in what's probably going to be a time lapse in a second. Alright guys, so after what feels like 5 hours of building, it wasn't, it was like 4 or 3, so I guess it was kind of close to 5. This is our finished product here, and I think I did a pretty good job. Also, I forgot to do that. I mentioned that earlier and I still forgot. Also, I'm going to be changing some of these. I don't really like how the viewing area looks. I like the bridge, I just don't like how the rest of it looks. But I'll be doing that in probably the next episode or the episode after. So overall, this exhibit was a great success. I think this might be my proudest build so far. These just keep, well, I don't know if I like the Pistachosaurus. I was thinking about changing that one, but you know, that's besides the point. this exhibit looks so nice. I might add a second one, I'm not 100% sure. Also, I heard that these guys can break stone, so I'm not going to have them sit up just yet, because that would be really unfortunate if he destroyed all the stuff that I put down for him. So yeah, this exhibit turned out incredible. There's not really much else I can say about it. It's just, I really like how the plant life is. It's not too lush. It's definitely, I like how there's, how do I describe this? Sorry, I completely blanked there. On the Pistachosaurus build, there was a guy talking about how it's a little bit too lush, you can't really see the creatures that well, and I agree looking over there. But with this exhibit, I feel like we have the right amount of lush. It can hide and it cannot be seen, but it can also be seen when it's down here very, very easily. Like, look at this, it's so obvious when it's down here. So yeah, I think this exhibit really fits the creature I want it to fit very well, and the forest vibe I really like. I feel like it fits with the Pistachosaurus area, it fits with this build, and we're kind of starting to get a foresty kind of area going together now. And hopefully we can move on to a swamp area over there. But yeah, without further ado, I'm probably going to end this video right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really think this build turned out incredible. Hopefully you guys agree. And I will see you guys in the next video. God bless you guys, and peace.